You won't believe this. Zimbabwe's President Emerson Mnangagwa on Monday announced his new cabinet, and it's a family affair. It's a family affair. Two relatives made it to the cabinet. Firstly, his 35-year-old son, Kudakwashe Mnangagwa, is now the Deputy Minister of Finance and Economic Development. What is his experience in cabinet? Zero. What is his experience as a member of parliament? Zero. He is a first-time legislator. And in addition, he didn't even win a seat. How did he make it into parliament? He made it into parliament under a youth quota for the Midlands province. So this guy has no history whatsoever of being a public representative, but now he's a deputy minister. First time for everything. Tongai Mnangagwa, a nephew of the president, is also a new entrant into cabinet, into the high life. He is going to be the deputy minister of tourism. Now, when you add the third element, you begin to see the family affair even more clearly. Shaun Mnangagwa, another son, works for the Presidential Guard. He's effectively a commander in the army and a commander of the Zimbabwean Defense Forces. Then you add that Collins Mnangagwa is one of the sons who was mentioned in the Gold Mafia documentary. It's a family affair. The family, La Familia, runs the country at this point. Now, some comments on this. Three things. Number one, this is clearly nepotism. Nepotism is one of the biggest cancers that affects African countries and affects service delivery and governance. Number two, this is classic dictator operations manual. This is what they do. Do you remember in Angola, Isabella dos Santos was being given all kinds of business deals by her father, Eduardo dos Santos, who ruled Angola for 38 years from 1979 to 2017. The son, Filomeno dos Santos, was also being given all kinds of deals, and at some point he was the chairman of Angola's Sovereign Wealth Fund, where he stole a lot of money and actually is currently in prison for that. On a very serious and final note, just in terms of commentary on this seems part of the plan to transfer power in 2028 when this term of office ends to his children and his relatives. Remember, ZANU-PF does not have a 2/3 majority in parliament, so they cannot necessarily change the constitution. But what they can do, as the sons begin to accumulate more power, more wealth, more resources, and more political influence, is attempt to transfer power to them. Then there will be an extension of ZANU-PF dictatorship, but particularly rule of the Mnangagwas. And these are relatively young sons. If this son is 35, in 2028 he'll be 40, meaning that he will be able to govern for 40 to 50 years if it's going to be run as a family business, which it looks like it will be. This right here is classic dictator stuff. It's a big problem with everything that has happened here, because fundamentally there's an attempt to extend the duration of the dictatorship in Zimbabwe by allowing more and more sons to enter the avenues of power. It turns out, in fact, that Emerson Mnangagwa is worse than Robert Mugabe.